gosh, I must say, you really got to love YouTube and the platform and the creators out there who are getting information out there to you guys that are useful and helpful. And I use YouTube quite a lot in terms of getting information and help, doing a couple of things here and there. We all do it. And that being said, a fellow subscriber got in contact with me, Sean, and he had a couple of issues with his ARB Link system. So we buckled down and we got down to the root of the problem. So a huge thank you to ARB Europe, really helped us out on this one, and who were basically crucial in solving the problem that we had with the ARB Link system. So we thought it would be really useful to put a video together to showcase possible issues that you might face with the ARB Link system. It's a really powerful tool, and hopefully this video helps you guys as much as it helped obviously Sean in this particular scenario. So let's get straight into it. So the ARB Link system, a very super handy and powerful tool at your fingertips, streamlines all your accessories and keeps all sort of the buttons and monitoring all in one place, which is super handy. So when first setting up your ARB Link system, what I did right from the start is I didn't want to rely solely on Bluetooth. I have experienced with certain accessories Bluetooth connectivity issues, so I kind of wanted to mitigate that and solely rely on a hard connection such as the USB cable that is supplied with the ARB Link system. ARB have sort of cottoned on that a lot of users are installing the controller in various locations in the vehicle, and the USB cable supplied is not really long enough, so they have brought out an extension cable, which is pretty cool. So you can have a look out for that, especially when you're planning to where you're going to put your controller. So I installed the system myself, and I did a lot of sort of pre-planning before, so I knew exactly where I was going to put it, the length of cables I needed for all the controllers and the accessories. So I went and got a USB extension cable to ensure that this thing is connected up all the time and I don't lose any sort of connectivity to any of my accessories. So once I got sort of the system set up, to ensure that this was connecting to the controller effectively, I turned off all Bluetooth in the vehicle and only relied on this connecting to the controller right from the very start. That ensured that this connected only to the controller, it reads the language or that kind of stuff, and I wanted to give obviously the product the best possible chance to do a good job. So that's kind of what we did right from the beginning. But as it lives in the vehicle, it just stays on its pod and it's connected to the USB cable at all times. I very rarely take it off the pod and use it around the vehicle, only to showcase maybe yourselves or any people who are interested in the product. I take it off and show them just how powerful the unit is. Off the pod, it still connects to the controller from a Bluetooth sense, so you can walk anywhere around camp or around the vehicle and you can still control all your accessories and monitor everything on your vehicle, which is really handy. Not many accessories out there do all that in one, which is pretty cool. So there's a lot this system offers, which is pretty freaking amazing. So another way of diagnosing any issues that you might have with the accessories is, the great thing about this obviously is Bluetooth. If you're experiencing further issues with a particular accessory such as a light bar or a spotlight, you can basically come in the engine bay with your ARB Link system, and once you touch the particular accessory that you might have an issue with, at least you can hear that the relay is responding to the controller and that's engaging. And you can check your accessories that way, and that will kind of rule out any sort of issues that you might be having further down the line. So it basically rules out that your relay is still working. It might be a fuse, so it kind of leads you down the path on sort of troubleshooting where you need to be going. So great thing about the controller, it only connects into sort of relays and it only controls systems, so it doesn't really draw any power or great amounts of power in that sort of sense. All it does is it engages and disengages relays and turns items on and off and monitors items, so which is a good thing. So this does help in sort of troubleshooting areas if you have issues, but with most things, especially with wiring, anything that draws a lot of power, such as your light bars and winches and whatnot, always have a look at your fuses first. If you've got them in a fuse bank somewhere, check that out first. Look at all the connections to the cable, especially if with your link system. If you know where the cable runs are, have a look at that. Have a look at where the controller is located, and if you've been traveling over very, very bumpy roads, it might happen that maybe the wiring has come loose in a particular way, or the little connections in the controller have sort of dislodged themselves. If you have installed obviously the wiring into the controller correctly and sort of bolted everything down correctly, you shouldn't really have wiring issues. So that's another quick way of just checking your relays, your fuses, and all that kind of stuff on your accessories, is actually using your ARB Link system as you go around and engaging and disengaging, so you can check that everything is still working. Right, so the next issue that we're going to talk about is if the unit becomes really slow and sluggish. Now, this is something that Sean was experiencing, and we buckled down and we got down to the root of the problem, and basically the unit just required a factory reset. So nothing sort of untoward and nothing sort of radical that we had to do. It's very simple to do, very easy. It just basically resets the ARB Link system, and then you restart everything. So you just got to re-update the system and go through the setup process again. Just bearing in mind that when you do the factory reset, it basically deletes all data off the actual unit itself. So if you've got any photos that you've taken with this, or sort of any sort of other apps that you've downloaded on your Link system, it'll erase everything and you've got to start over again. So just bear that in mind. So if you want to save any data, do so before you do the factory reset and go through it. So I've got the latest sort of update, which is the 1.10 at time of this video. So we're going to reset it. I'm going to take you through the entire process. There's no reason for me to do a factory reset, but I'm going to take you through the whole process and show you how easy it is and to reset up the device and get this thing working as good as new. Okay, now that you're at your main screen, you're ready to do your factory reset. So what you want to do is press the exit button, which is the circle. It goes to your sort of home screen. Then you press the menu button, brings up all the apps, relevant information, go into settings. From there, scroll down until you find backup and reset. Scroll down again and do factory data reset. So there's a clear warning here that it's going to erase all data from your phone's internal storage, including all that information there. So bearing in mind, anything that you need to get that off now, and all the information that it's going to erase off the phone, you'll have to reinstate it at a later date. So what I've done is I've come close to home, connected to my Wi-Fi. I'm going to reset this, and I'll speed up the process of resetting it. So we just reset phone, and then again, it warns you a second time. Are you very sure? And say yes. Now this should take a couple minutes. Reset the Android device. Okay, now that the factory reset is done, what we've got to do is go over to linksinstall.com and download the latest app software. So just go into your browser. You'll be met with 4 options. Just allow all 4 options that come on your screen. Just allow all those to go through. So what we're going to type in here is Linx install.com, and then go. So before you get to this point, kind of make sure that you're connected to a stable Wi-Fi connection, and then as soon as you go onto that website, it'll allow you to download the latest software straight away. Now you're ready to install. All you got to press is your install. Now this may take several minutes to install. So on this one you press decline. If you are met with this particular one, just press decline. This will take a little while, so just let the system do its thing. Now that the app is installed, you just press open. So with this, we don't want to do that. Deny. Okay, and then now we want download, update, press OK to continue. Update, all required permissions have not been granted. Please grant the request and continue. Make and manage phone calls. Now, not sure why I'd ask that. I think it just, in terms of it talking to controllers and bits and pieces. So if you met with this screen, what I've experienced in the past is just keep on doing it and eventually it'll go through. Just make sure that you get a good stable Wi-Fi connection. That does tend to help. So the latest software updates. Again, this will install, so the previous one was just your original sort of base software, and this is the update. Open. So this is it. There's your new update 1.10 as before, and this will try and connect to the controller. What it really helped speed up the connection to the controller was getting it plugged into the USB. So I've done that, so you'll be met with this screen here. So you just press activate. It'll give you all the release notes of the latest update, what they've done, any sort of features they've added to the relevant accessories they've brought out, and along with the ARB range. So you can basically flick through that. If you're already up to speed with that, just press OK, and now you're back to your main screen where you can adjust all your color settings. You can basically set up how you like to get everything set up, and it's pretty much as simple as that. Everything is nice and fresh, nice and good to go. So hopefully that has helped you guys a little bit with the ARB Link system.
If I'm not back in 5 minutes, just wait longer.